Being a life coach is transformational and rewarding work. And it can be hard sometimes to figure out how to get new leads and new clients for your business. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of what I've discovered about how to generate leads and prospects with grace and ease. I know what it's like to be a coach and want to help people. I know what it feels like to have the desire to get new clients and get to work and start doing the business that we are here and meant to do. And I also know the pain of getting those clients, that it can feel frustrating and challenging to want to do the good work with people, but first have to get the people and convince them to sign up. So I want to share with you 4 things that I've discovered that have really helped me to get clients in my coaching practice. So I want you to think about your coaching business in 3 parts, but 3 parts plus 1 part. So the 3 parts are the front end, the back end, and the big back end. The front end is the marketing. It's how you get yourself out there and how you attract the new people into the mix. So for me as a coach, my absolute favorite ways to drive new business are through speaking, blogging, videos like the one that you're watching right now, and getting in front of people and delivering massive value through content. So really I have a content marketing strategy. I position myself as a thought leader. I put myself in situations where I am perceived as a thought leader. I do webinars, seminars, workshops, preview events. Really, speaking is my #1 driver of business. Now, between the front end and the back end, there's a connection. And that is what is called capturing the audience. So someone might see my video, like right now, you might be watching my video, but I might never see you again unless you subscribe to my video below, subscribe to my channel. Once you subscribe, you're in my universe, you're in my world. And another layer of subscription might be that you might decide that you want to go to my website and discover new free resources. I have a whole bunch of free things that I give away. And if you go there and you get those, you might opt into my email list. So now I've got you even closer in my email list, right? So the front end is everything that generates people to get into your world, to subscribe, to opt in, to become part of your ecosystem, so to speak. Once they come in there, right, the first step is where we make the first sale. That's the back end. So the front end is all the marketing. The back end is the first time that we deliver a product or a service to them. Now, in my world, the back end, the best kind of back end, in my opinion, is a breakthrough experience. It's a short, compressed time frame to get a very desirable and specific result. So, for example, in my world, I teach business, marketing, branding, business models. That's what I speak about. That's what my podcast is about. That's what my videos are about. I get people into my world, and the very first foundational breakthrough offer that I have is my Superstar Business Breakthrough Retreat. So this business breakthrough retreat, it doesn't have to be a retreat. For you, it might be a course. It might be a half-day event. Whatever the format is not as important as what is the outcome of this breakthrough program. So you've got your front end where you're putting things out over time, consistently, always marketing. Then you've got your back end, which is a clear breakthrough experience in a compressed amount of time. So for example, in my breakthrough program, I wouldn't sell a 1-year coaching program. Why? Because that's a really big commitment for people to make up front unless they're certain that they want to work with you. Now, that I'm not saying you can't have that. That is the big back end. But generally, people take this path. Front end, opt in, capture, nurture, cultivate, back end, breakthrough, and then from the back end, where you've delivered this massive value, you've given them this intense experience, they've gotten this incredible outcome or result that they're looking for, that's when you make the offer to the big back end. Now, the big back end is your 1-year program or your 2-year program. Your big back end is where you're really generating the revenues in your business. And yes, while people can go from the front end all the way to the big back end, I don't recommend that unless you already know them and they know you and there's already a level of trust and credibility built up. Why? Because if your back-end program is your life coaching services, chances are you're going to go deep with that person. You're going to have to spend a lot of time with them. Even if it's a group coaching program, they're going to spend a lot of time with your group. You don't want to bring somebody in from the front end all the way to the back end and then not have them be a great fit. So, by the way, I have a video that you can click over here about how to sell coaching services, which will show you how to enroll people with integrity at every step of the way so you don't end up in a situation where somebody's not a right fit. So the last part, so the front end, back end, big back end is basically how you sell your coaching services, how you structure your programs. The front end is free, it's easy to get to, it's all over, it's a lot of different formats. The back end is something very tangible, very value-driven, something people really want and need, big breakthrough, small amount of time. And then the big back end is really where the ongoing work is and where you make the bigger money. And oftentimes, like with my business, this is structured as a monthly recurring commitment. So people aren't signing up month to month, like they can cancel anytime, but they are paying month to month. So that eases the burden on them of paying a whole big chunk up front, although some people choose to do that, and instead allows them to pay over time. And it gives me the benefit of monthly recurring stable revenues. Now, of course, all of this, I told you there was a fourth piece, and the fourth piece is what connects all these pieces. It's your sales process. It's how you bring people through your system. So it's how you go from step one, front end, into the back end, and from the back end into the big back end. And one of the things that I took a long time for me to learn, and now I teach it, is how to have really powerful enrollment conversations with integrity. One of the biggest challenges I see with coaching is what a bad rap it gets because so many people are out there selling the dream and then not delivering on it. So I find that it's really important in the sales conversation to create a powerful enrollment without overselling, without making promises that you can't keep. So I have a video on how to sell coaching services. I mentioned it earlier that I highly, highly recommend. You don't ever want to sell in any other way. This has truly transformed my business, my sales, my conversion, and that of many of my clients as well.